Hello, I'm Dr. Shrivya Saloni Maviran, reader from the Department of Pediatric and Preventive Dentistry, Yenepoya Dental College. Today, I'm going to discuss the topic, setting up of a pedodontic clinic. The specific learning objectives are to introduce and enumerate the differences in the setup of a pediatric clinic versus a general dental clinic, to outline the pedodontic dental clinic designing, to restate the importance of choosing an ideal location for a clinic, and to enumerate the aspects that are important for office organization. We will also be highlighting the importance of the attire and presentation of the clinic staff, to prioritize the importance of readily accepting children as they are, to list the basics of behavior management in children, and to discuss the desirable features in an office that treats young children. Now, children, they respond very differently to their surroundings than adults do. So to treat children comfortably in dental clinics, there are two important aspects that we need to keep in mind. So one is the approach of the dental clinic staff, and also the clinic atmosphere plays a very important role. Now, children, they have a place memory. A child does not like to visit a place where he or she has previously experienced discomfort, and they like to be in places and they like to catch up with people that are fun for them. While designing a pedodontic clinic, we have to keep in mind that the dental office should encourage feelings of care and familiarity for the child. Now, the doctor's goal, along with the staff, should be to help the child feel good about visiting the dental clinic, and pleasant visits to the dental office will promote trust and confidence in the child, which can last a lifetime. Now, in India, children constitute around 40% of the nation's population, which is more than 1/3 of the total population in India. Hence, dental clinics must be made child-friendly. Now, while designing your dental clinic, one of the most important things you need to remember is the location of the clinic. So you need to check the social and economic status of the people who are residing in that area. And secondly, accessibility to schools. Since most of the patients that we are treating are going to be children, it would be preferable if you have a school in the vicinity of your dental clinic, since parents would prefer to bring the children to you for treatment following school hours, and they will search for the clinic that is nearest to the school and that is convenient for them. Thirdly is the transportation and the parking facility for your patients. So when you are choosing a location for your clinic, you can try and see that there is ample parking facilities available in that area. Or you could also see that public transportation is available close by, for example, your rickshaw stands or your bus stop or a railway station close by. Now, certain aspects are considered important: provision of space, your reception at the front desk, the waiting area, the attire and presentation of the clinical staff, colors, smells and sounds in the clinic, instructions for both the children and the parents, readiness to accept children as they are, and audiovisual aids for entertainment. Now, the pedodontic clinic design should have 4 to 5 compartments. So if you can observe the image on the left, when the patient first enters, there is a reception or a front desk. There is a waiting area for parents, which may or may not be an extension of the play area for the children, or you could have a designated play area for the children. Then you have a consulting or a conference room, and lastly you have the dental operatory, where you actually perform treatment for the child. Now, children, they require empty spaces to move around. So depending upon the space available, you can keep a fish tank or incorporate a blackboard, as you can see in this image here, or you can have a slide where the child can play. So the concept is that when the child is engaged in some interesting activity, the anxiety is relieved before their turn comes for the dental checkup or the treatment. When the child first comes to your dental clinic, they are generally unsure of what is going to happen there. So the receptionist should possess communication skills to deal with children. A lack of interest of the clinical staff to deal with children can lead to a failure to generate excitement in the child. So ideally, your receptionist should be able to call each child out by name and engage with the child. So if a friendly, welcome, cheerful conversation and a playful atmosphere greets the child won't feel that he or she is brought here as a punishment. In this image, you can see the reception area. It is bright, it has positive vibes, there is plenty of space, and there is good sunlight streaming in. Now, the waiting area should be pleasant, and the child should not be made to wait longer than 10 minutes, since the child can get bored or anxious about the treatment. So 5 to 10 minutes spent playing with the child can actually refresh the child, and a happy child who enters the operatory is more likely to be cooperative for the treatment. This is an image of a waiting area. As you can see, it gives you the ambience of sitting in a park or in a garden. The waiting area should not be dull. As I mentioned, you could either incorporate a blackboard or a slide, which is depicted in the slide here, and soft toys or games to engage the child. This is an image of a play area in a pediatric department. You can see that there are games here to engage the child. Another image of a play area. Here you can appreciate the blackboard where the child is busy engaged in drawing. There are games and there are books for the children. Another image of a play area. On the right hand side, you can appreciate that there are movie posters which will probably excite the children. On the left hand side, there is a notice board where you can give instructions to the child, or you could pin up artwork which is actually done by them. There are games, there are books, and if you can look at the left hand corner to the extreme left, there is the operatory area which is well designated away from the play area. Another image where we can appreciate the aquarium or the fish tank in this play area. There's also a table where the child can engage themselves by drawing, and on the extreme left hand side you have the entrance to the operatory area. It is well demarcated away from the play area. And if you have space in the clinic, you can also incorporate a library or a small reading nook for children to engage themselves. The attire and the presentation of the clinic staff is also very important. Now, the typical dental attire that we don, that is the apron or the white coat and the head cap, the mask, the gloves, they generally aren't child friendly. So on the first visit, you have to make an attempt to meet the child casually and preferably not around the dental chair. So first you will take them to the consulting room where you will meet the child casually. You will record a brief case history and you will perform an extra oral examination. So generally this will take you anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes, which is sufficient time for you to assess the behavior of the child. And then you can direct the child to the dental chair after showing around the clinic and meeting the other staff. This is if there is any emergency treatment required for the child. But if it is the first visit of the child and the child does not require any emergency treatment, then you can send them out to the play area following the recording of the case history, and then you can sit with the parents and you can discuss and formulate a treatment plan and then schedule an appointment at a later date for the child. Now we will talk about the colors, the smells and sounds in a dental clinic. Now the clinics generally have a roof to floor tile for easy maintenance and cleanliness. Now these are colors which project office ambience. They could be whites, beige, browns, greys. So generally we go for monochrome colors. But these colors are very boring as perceived by a child, and children, they prefer bright and loud colors. So in this slide you can see that there are two images which is of the same dental clinic setup. Now which image do you think the child will prefer more? So definitely the one with the mural, the one on the lower side, will be something which will excite a child. This is an image of a private clinic setup. As you can appreciate, there is a mural on the wall. It is bright. This clinic gives positive vibes. There is no negative stimuli anywhere which will distract the child. And there are bright colors which are incorporated in the dental chair. This is another image which would definitely be approved by the child. Another dental setup exclusively for children where you can appreciate the bright colored murals on the wall. Now children, they tend to forget their surroundings when they're busy doing something that they enjoy doing. For example, like watching cartoons. So we can incorporate audiovisual aids for entertainment. A TV set which is kept in front of the dental chair can distract the child long enough for them to forget that treatment is being carried out. And once the child is cooperative, it also reduces the need of the dentist to talk to them. This is a picture where the child is lying down on the chair and is facing upwards. The treatment is being carried out, and we have the audiovisual aids which are affixed onto the ceiling. Another pediatric clinic setup where we have a brightly colored wall and there is an audiovisual aid, a screen which is affixed onto the ceiling. If you have sufficient space in your dental clinic, you can also set up a brushing station. Now, the concept of setting up a brushing station is to educate the child and to guide the child regarding the correct brushing techniques. And before the child leaves the clinic, you can also ask the patient, that is the child, to demonstrate the brushing techniques in front of you before you send them home. We also have modified dental chairs that are available. These modified dental chairs would generally be accepted by younger children and also children who are anxious about sitting on a conventional dental chair. This is another image of a modified dental chair, which is definitely going to be accepted by the child. We have spoken about the colors in the dental clinic. Now we will be discussing about the smells and the sounds in the dental clinic. Now children, they dislike certain smells and sounds, and as a dentist we need to be aware of this. Now children generally dislike the smell of certain medications. They dislike the smell of eugenol, spirit, waxes and acrylic. And they also do not like certain sounds that are loud or sudden. For example, the noise of an aerator handpiece, a suction apparatus, ultrasonic cleaners, and also your compressors. We need to provide certain instructions for both the children and the parents. We can have notice boards in the waiting room which can carry out instruction for the parents, that is instructions either before the dental visit of the child or certain post-treatment instructions. We can also have instructions in the form of a booklet or a brochure. So as a pre-treatment communication, it can be delivered to them as soon as they enter the dental clinic. An important deterrent to seeking dental care is fear of dentistry. Often parents, they threaten a child of the doctor's injection for any misbehavior on their part or for eating too many chocolates. So we need to give certain instruction to the parents for better preparation of both the parent and the child to receive treatment. So we need to instruct the parents that they should not tell the child about pain, blood or injections. And the parent should not tell the child that because you eat chocolates, your teeth will be removed by a doctor, or because you don't brush your teeth properly, the doctor will give you an injection. We have to tell the parents that they should not voice their own fears about dentistry in front of the child. This is especially in cases of extraction procedures. The dentist can answer the parents' queries separately in the absence of the child. We also have to tell the parents that they should not insist on starting treatment on the first visit itself. They should give the dentist enough time to talk to the child, to build a rapport with the child, and to gain the confidence of the child. Now children, they love fun, they enjoy being praised and they love interacting with others. But each child is different and we have to accept them as they are, and to become a part of their world, we can communicate with them both verbally and non-verbally. Now most children, they like to behave like mini adults. So we can maintain eye-to-eye contact with them, physical contact which is limited to shaking hands or patting them on the back, or we can give them a clap. So basically we ask the child to sing and we ask them to tell stories or ask them about their hobbies and give them an opportunity to praise them. Now all children are emotionally very different too. So Pinkham stated that no child is competent in language before the second birthday and that all children are competent in language after the fourth birthday. That is, between ages 2 and 4 is when a child first starts learning to speak, and by 4 years of age generally all children are competent in language. Now between ages of 3 and 6 they start developing a fear of separation from the parents, fear of strangers, fear of new experiences, and they also start developing control, developing a conscience and aggression. Now this is the age where children start preschool, so they start learning interaction with their peers, they start learning self-discipline, they start developing values both physical and sexual, and thus this age group is most susceptible for distraction, friendship, feeling guilty and emotions of other people, and this is when we can apply the various behavior modification techniques on them. Most behavior modification techniques in the linguistic domain are based on these basic observations. So the first is TSD, which is tell, show, do. You tell the patient what treatment you're going to perform, you show it to them either on a model or a live model, and then you do the treatment, you perform the treatment on the child. The second is modeling, where you can use a cooperative elder sibling or a cooperative patient where you perform treatment on them first and the uncooperative child observes this treatment, and then you perform the treatment on the uncooperative child. And the third is voice control, where you can try to establish dominance on an uncooperative child. Now children do cry at certain times and due to various reasons. It could be due to the noise of certain machines, it could be due to the taste of certain medication like anesthetic spray, or sometimes a child may simply cry because they do not want treatment. Now, as long as the child does not cry due to pain, there is nothing to worry about. I will be enumerating a few desirable features in an office which treats young children. So while selecting your clinic, it would be preferable if you can find a ground floor location. If not, if it is a first floor and above, please try to see that there is access to an elevator. There should be a designated play area for young children in reception rooms. You can have carpeting in the clinic to make the area more durable. You can have a conference room where you can meet with the parents for case discussions and diet counseling, and preferably have a dental chair in the conference room where you can demonstrate and explain in the child's mouth. Negative sound of any nature in the clinic may arouse anxiety in the child, and good sound insulation is very essential. So carpeting can effectively reduce these sound levels, and harsh tones of the voice of the dentist and staff may also discourage confidence in the child. So while talking to the child, we should use calm and soft tones. Cleanliness and neatness are also very important. It reflects the individuals who administer the treatment, and therefore it encourages or discourages confidence in the patient. There are a few additional features of pediatric dental clinic, which is the location and the design of the equipment. Now, the operatory should be designed to minimize potential negative visual stimuli, and fear-provoking instruments should be located in inconspicuous positions. The use of preparatory is helpful since the time required to prepare for each patient is reduced. Now, the instruments that we use for the child should be accommodative to the child and not vice versa. The design of the equipment should include accessible sterilization to meet the needs of fast and large volume of patients in an office, sufficient number of instruments to treat a large patient volume, storage in every conceivable spot, that is under the benches, in the operatory wall cabinets and under counter cabinets, and the trash container in the operatory should be out of sight and out of reach of children's hand. So if you can look at the right hand side image, once you use the instruments chair side, you should facilitate easy cleaning, sterilization and storage, and it should be ready for use again. To summarize, the foundation of practicing dentistry for children is the ability to guide them through their dental experiences. It is important to plant seeds for future dental health early in life to promote a positive approach towards dentistry during childhood. A pediatric dentist must play the roles of both behavior therapist and a counselor, and to facilitate this, the clinic atmosphere must be made child-friendly. A typical dental clinic setup may not be liked by all children, but there is no reason why adults should not like a child-friendly clinic. Also, child-friendliness in a setup can be a distinguishing feature of such a clinic, and parents undergoing treatment may bring children along with them. Such visits could reduce the fears related to dentistry in the child's mind and prepare him or her better for the treatment if required any time later. These are my references. Thank you.